A truly strong person does not need the approval of others any more than a lion needs the approval of sheep. Vernon Howard. Have you ever noticed that lions and leopards and cheetahs don't all congregate together? They each prefer the company of their own. And also, within the pride of lions, have you noticed that the male lion and the female lion don't confuse their roles? One not being any more important than the other, but distinct and different. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why division is not always a bad thing. In fact, to my mind, it's a good thing, because it reveals the truth. Some have looked at this map and said, Florida Mucky, how can you preach division? How can you refer to parts of America, parts of our country, as New North Korea or the Northern Wastelands, and encourage people to leave certain places or keep their money in the South? Well, it's just that simple. I'm attempting to isolate and get rid of an infestation that we have. What is that infestation? Well, to explain it, we have to refer to this thing that people have been trying to do for the last, 10 to 15 years on the internet. Ascertain, what is my spirit animal? I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with this. Some people believe theirs to be a raven or a bear or a wolf or a falcon. Whatever you believe, one thing is very true. If you're a Democrat, if you're a liberal, if you're a progressive, you only have one spirit animal. And that is the bedbug, Cymex. I'm going to reveal in today's video 10 different things that Democrats and bedbugs have in common. I'm sure a lot of people are already typing, already upset, but it is the truth. Number one, they hide. Democrats and bedbugs hide. They hate the light. They have to find a place out of the sunshine so that when darkness falls, they can come out and start to propagate, conduct their parasitic behavior. They don't create anything other than anxiety, which is well documented, by the way. People that have suffered through and had to live through being bitten and victimized by bedbugs have PTSD-like symptoms for the rest of their life. I'll give you links that prove this. They are parasitic, number one. They don't create anything. They only live off of what others have created. And that's exactly what Democrats admit. They want to make the rich pay their fair share, right? So that they can take from and give to others. Creating for themselves is not an option. So number one, they're parasitic. Number two, they hate light. They only come out at night. In fact, sundown is their key to start being active. Just like we see with Democrats. Look at all of the burning and all the rioting and all of the protests. It's all after dark, isn't it? Just like bedbugs. They hide. During the day, we don't know where to find them. They stay hidden. They stay in the recesses. In fact, they really exist online, hidden as trolls. So that's number three. Number one, parasitic. Number two, they hate light. Number three, they hide. Number four, they cause anxiety. Well documented. What's number five? Number five, impossible to get rid of. Incredibly, incredibly difficult to get rid of. You can burn your mattresses. You can get rid of your clothing. They will get into the baseboards. They will get into virtually anywhere there is a hiding place. Now, there is one thing that does get rid of them, and we're going to cover it right at the end, and it's going to be the nail in the coffin for this. There is a definite, for sure, 100% effective way to get rid of Democrat bedbugs. Number 6, mating is painful. Yep, it's documented right here. Female bed bugs only, Democrats only mate once, and it's painful. They've even documented, as kind of an aside, homosexual behavior amongst bed bugs. Male bed bugs will attempt to inseminate other male bed bugs. And they do it just through the body wall. It's horrible. I mean, how these horrible little animals operate. Number 7, it's not a sign of poor hygiene, meaning there's nothing you really do to ever invite. All it takes is someone having their suitcase put next to the wrong suitcase in a baggage hold of a plane, and they can be the most hygienic person on the planet, and they now are infested. They don't know it. They go to a perfectly clean sanitary hotel, and they bring the infestation. It takes vigilance, and it takes diligence to keep looking and to keep ascertaining. Do I have Democrats? Am I being bitten up and being fed on by Democrats? They're nomadic, number 8. Number 7 was that they are not a sign of poor hygiene. They're not a sign of things being dirty. It's just they exist, and you have to be vigilant to get rid of them. 8, they're nomadic, meaning that they will just go wherever there is a target. Wherever there is somebody or something they can feed on, just like Democrats, that's where they'll go. And when the food supply runs out, they'll just move on to the next one. They have a scent to them. I didn't really count this one, but they do. Once you've smelled them, once you understand what they smell like, there's no mistaking it. Years and years ago, I worked for a moving company and had the unfortunate event in my life that caused me to understand what these things smell like. Never again. Once I learned what they smell like, I could just walk in a house and know, and I would tell my crew to walk right back out, get back in the truck. We're not touching a thing. These people have bed bugs. These people have Democrats. They can survive up to a year without eating. This goes along with them being almost impossible to get rid of. You will never see them thrive on their own. They will go into maintenance mode and they will wait for the next target. They are only destroyed. You ready for this? They are only destroyed by heat. The best treatment for Democrat bed bugs is heat. When you turn the heat up on Democrats, just like we're doing here in Florida, that'll kill them. That'll get rid of them. That'll exterminate them. They won't leave. They'll just die. They all die at 122 degrees Fahrenheit. This is exactly what they have in common with Democrats. You turn up the heat, you put them on the spot, you put them underneath the light, and they shrink and they shrivel and they go away. They have a very predictable lifestyle. Life cycle. Lifestyle, too. You have your, of course, first stage, Greta Thunberg, your second stage, mainstream media, and then, of course, I have documented here all of the different stages, third, fourth, fifth. The adult female stage is absolutely the most frightening one ever. But understand, they are out there. And you have to be vigilant, and you have to be diligent to make sure you're not being infested with Democrat bed bugs. Now, does this make sense? I mean, if you want to remain up in the north, you want to remain in the northern wastelands or in the Empire of New Sodom, and you want to risk waking up one day having been fed on by Democrats, then I guess the South isn't going to be something that you're ever going to really appreciate. Because down here we exterminate. down here, we turn up the heat. And we make their lives a living nightmare. And they just shrivel away. And they go away. They can be dealt with, but we have to make sure that we get rid of all of them. They hide anywhere they can. Democrats and bedbugs. So just to recap, number 1, they're parasitic. Number 2, they hate light. Number 3, they hide. Number 4, they can live everywhere or anywhere, sometimes up to a year at a time between feedings. Number 5, they're impossible to get rid of. Number 6, mating is painful. Number 7, it's not a sign of poor hygiene. Number 8, they are nomadic. Number 9, they cause anxiety. And number 10, they are only destroyed by heat. Now, do you believe me? Democrats and bedbugs and Democrats. They are each other's spirit animals. And I'll leave it there. God bless. Have a great weekend. We will see you guys tonight on Twitch. If you have any more questions, about 10 o'clock or so we get started over there. We have had a lot of people show up lately, so would love to have you. God bless, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.